Hey guys, now in today's video, we're going to talk about the brand new xTool M1Ultra. And I have to say that this is a cricket killer. This is not just a laser, but this is a 4-in-1 device that's going to give you the ability to create laser engraved products like we're used to seeing on the channel, like this, slates. It's going to do wood, yes it can, but it also will allow you to make shirts because it cuts vinyl just like a cricket, but it doesn't end there. It also has a print head that allows you to print directly onto wood and other materials. It has a press that is an optional accessory that you can also get, which I highly recommend, that allows you to press, again, your shirts, just like what you saw right here, but it also allows you, using dye sublimation, to create amazing pieces like this. Check out this puzzle piece. So this is a puzzle piece of all our babies, all our poms, and this just took seconds to create. It took a little bit less than a minute to print, and it took 40 seconds with the heat press to press it onto this puzzle piece. And you can see how fantastic and how amazing this looks. So literally with this laser, actually, you can change the print head and go from printing. You can change it to go into laser engraving. You can change it to cutting, and you could just switch between each one of these modules as you need. Matter of fact, you can combine all the processes. You're going to see in this video how we created stickers simply by saying print the sticker first, then cut the sticker, and we did that within one job. Literally, it just handles all those things seamlessly and super easy. I'll tell you, I am new to this kind of stuff. Like, I'm a laser guy, right? Talk to me about laser engraving, talk to me about metals, talk to me about woods. Got it. This is new. And Nilda and I have been having so much fun with this machine, and it's been so easy for us to learn and to create things that we just can't stop sharing with our friends and family all the cool stuff that we're making with the M1Ultra. So let's go to check it out. Okay, so we're taking a look at the M1Ultra, and this is a really interesting laser engraver because it's actually like the Swiss Army knife of laser engravers. Not only is it a laser engraver, but as you saw from the samples that we shared, it gives you the ability to do much more than laser engrave. It's actually a vinyl cutter. It is actually a laser engraver. It's also a printer. And when I talk about vinyl cutting, it's not just vinyl cutting, but it's also going to be able to support cutting stickers, a lot of different material. Also doing a certain degree of, I would say, foiling of material as well. A couple things. This first thing is you'll notice that it's a little bit higher than a traditional laser, and that's because it has a riser. And this riser area here is pretty cool because what it has, and we'll go ahead and pan down, it has right here in this little area a storage area where you can have your honeycomb, right? You also then have the traditional laser engraving bars. It has also, and open this up right here, an area for pens and then also for additional cutters. So this is where you'd put all your supplies, things that you want to be able to store and then reference really much faster than having a separate container. Now, in addition to that, and the one thing I'll also highlight is that as you push this back, there are a lot of sensors everywhere. So the sensors right here are going to know when this is closed, and they'll make a beep indicating that it's closed. And the laser, again, will be aware of that. Now, the laser itself does have a protective shield. So this is a solution also that if you're laser engraving, you don't need to wear any glasses because this shield is going to protect, again, your eyes, and you don't have to worry about that. Inside, though, it's a little bit different than what you'd find from a traditional laser engraver. Now, the first thing that you're going to notice is that there is no engraving bed. This is actually a sticky mat. And this is a mat where you're able to place items on it, and then it sticks in place so that as you're using the cutters to cut or the print head to print, it will basically keep your sheets in one place. I'm going to show you a sheet of paper that I ran. This is sticker paper. And the sticker paper basically gets placed on the bed and then it kind of sticks, right? So you notice as I'm pulling, it has some stickiness. There's a pink one that has a higher degree of stickiness depending on what you're going to do. We also then cut vinyl. So the vinyl that you cut is heat transfer vinyl. And I'm going to go ahead and bring one up here. And this allows you to work on shirts. So you'll notice this is one of the heat transfer vinyls that we did. And basically you put it on this surface, it stays in place, and then as this is cutting it, it cuts out everything for you so that you can use it for heat transfer purposes. I'm saving this because the top portion can be used for another type of vinyl, I would say, pressing. Now, you'll notice that you have the different points right here. These little points or markers are used for the camera. So you, just like you have with the S1, so you take a picture and it's going to automatically allow you to use your camera as the laser or the M1Ultra's camera for alignment of items. Now, it has two print heads here, or two heads. This one is a fixed head, meaning that this one doesn't change, and this one has a small knife cutter here. That is what you use for cutting vinyl. It's what I use for cutting the stickers and things like that. And then over here I have another one, and this is the print head. And literally what it has is an inkjet module. Today this is a water-based ink. Nothing really special with it. It's not a dye sub ink, but it is available to print. And it's going to print on a variety of materials, as you saw. It printed the stickers that you saw in the intro video, and it also can print on wood, and it can print on other materials. And let me show you. This is a sticker that we ran, right? So you can see how nice that came out. And also you can do a lot of other stuff when it comes to the printing. Now the cool thing about this laser is that everything is removable. So for example, if I want to take this print head out or move this off, all I got to do is do this, move it off. And if I'd like to enable the laser engraver, I just grab my laser module, which is right here, and then I just slide it into place, lock it in, and now I'm ready to laser. Now, the laser module is in the other modules that we have, because we have another module over here, and this is again for another cutter that we have. The laser module, or matter of fact, all modules with the exception of the print module, can just function just by connecting the way you just saw there. And you notice I didn't have to turn this off to do it. So over here, if we were to grab the print module, you notice that it has a USB cable which gets connected here. Now I'll open this up so you can see what's going on inside. This is just an area where you can actually stow things, right? So you can put that and hide that right there if you'd like. In my case, we're going to be putting this back because we're going to put this back on. And then over here you have your standard print head module inside of it. This is a little protective cover. It also has a little moisture area to keep your print head moist so that it doesn't dry off. I'm going to go ahead and close this back. So there's locked in. And I'm going to go ahead and put this back on place. So again, as you would expect with your laser, you have all the same functions here except that you have this removable print head. And then every single time you're done, you want to go ahead and lock things. If you forget to lock it, the system is going to tell you that it's not locked. Make sure that that's in. There you go. Now it's flush. Now if we pan up a little bit, in the back, you'll notice here's your exhaust, and you can use the F1, the baby F1 smoke extractor, or you can connect this to an inline fan to vent outside of your home. Here you have your Wi-Fi cable, right? And then over here, we're going to go ahead and get inside for a second. Let's move over, and you'll see what's going on here. You do have this little paper area. So basically what happens is every single time this printer is going to kick in, it comes here when it's going to print, and then it just deposits some ink here. Also what ends up happening is every single time you're going to use your print head, you'll want to take this and put it here, and then when it's done, it's going to come pick it up, and then you won't have to connect this back. It just does it. I found that sometimes I forget to take that off. So I'm probably going to create a little sticker that says make sure you take off the top so that we don't forget before you do things. Crosshair laser, which is part of this module, not the laser itself, is also present. Now this sticky pad is easy to remove. All you do is you lift like this and it just peels off. It has like, and also if you notice right here, here's the shiny part, and then you see it's kind of like opaque a little bit. It's because it has an adhesive there that sticks it down. And what you're looking to do is you'll notice that you have some marking points. You just place this in that area because it covers that area. Now you can move this out, right? So what I can do is if I move this over here, let me go ahead and actually do this. It's right now making a lot of noise because it knows that I'm taking off the bed. I'm going to put this over here and remove this. And what I could do is by removing this is I can bring up the laser. So you notice the laser bed is down here. If I wanted to get into lasering, I don't want to use that specific one. What I would do is remove it, stow it underneath here in this storage area, and then bring the laser up. Now this is what the laser bed would look like. Again, this is your honeycomb. It uses the same kind of components that you use to hold down material. So if you were going to, example, you're going to do a coaster or work on wood, you could either work with a jig. So I have jigs for everything. This, for example, is a jig if you wanted to do a cork coaster, and then this would be for a rock coaster, right? So you'd be able to use a jig to lock things into place, or bring down the wood. If you have some dark acrylic, you'd do that as well. And again, you'll notice that these markers are still available so that you can take a picture and then use this to connect to your software and then have kind of like the image of what you're going to be engraving on screen. Now, in the back of the laser, you do have air assist, which is something that you can optionally get. By the way, the laser is a 10-watt laser, the one that we have. You can go 10, 20 watt. You then also have the fire system as well. You have your power. You have a key, just like you have with the F1 and the F1Ultra. You have several USB ports here for expandable modules. And then here you basically have this is where your venting system goes. And the cool thing about this is depending on how you have things set up in your home, you can either have venting going this way or you can rotate it this way to vent that way. And literally, you'll notice here, as soon as you do this, it has sensors, so it knows when it's connected and when it's not. And you'll get these audible beeps letting you know, hey, you know what? You need to plug me in, right? So we put it back in, and then you can vent downward. And again, this is the same accordion type duct work for venting out smoke. And it does have a little filter, pre-filter built in right here. So very compact, easy to use. And again, this is the multi-tool of laser engravers. Now the heat press is really easy to use, and it can work in two ways. One of them is detached or with the press itself. I actually prefer having it on the press because it allows you to put pressure as well as raise it really easily. And then it has this swinging arm that you can use here. Now you'll notice here on the very back that there is a little Bluetooth enabled dongle that allows it to connect to the controller that you see right here. Now, you can also get this mat here. You can see that I've been doing some dye sublimation and some stuff got over, but this is what you would use if you're gonna, let's say, put a t-shirt, something soft, or even some of the other materials that we've been doing. We put this here at the very bottom, and then we actually use some butcher paper, both on the bottom and at the top, just to make sure that the material that you're working with doesn't really get any kind of ink or any other kind of material that you may have pressed in the past, and you don't want to get anything stuck on the top of the surface either. Now, this works pretty simple. Once you adjust your pressure here on the very back, all you do is you bring this down and then you press down like this. This is going to give you enough pressure. The actual timer here, you'll see this in a second, lights up, and it has a time indicator. It actually has several modes. And then when you're done, you raise. Once again, the dial here, you'll turn it right or left depending on the type of pressure that you'd like to add. We're going to go ahead and turn this on so you can see it for a second. So here what I'll do is I'll turn on this guy right here. Notice how this is kind of like in an amber color. You can see what the current temperature is, and you can see the seconds. And you'll notice that it's already starting to heat up based on the temperature setting that I had. Now, you do have multiple modes, right, that you can save. So here's mode A, or settings. So B, C, D, right? And you can just cycle through all these. Pretty much just once this reaches the temperature that you want, and you can adjust it with this dial by turning left and right. You can also change the seconds that it's going to count down. All you do is you press this button, and then you lower it, and then you'll be able to kind of use this as a built-in timer. Completely wireless, and then you have over here your power button, USB-C that you'll use for charging, and if you're looking at things in Fahrenheit or Celsius. So those are a couple controls that you have there. This gets hot pretty fast. Now, in addition to doing, let's say, vinyl, doing shirts like the one I showed you, you can also do things like this. So this is a dye sublimation puzzle, right? So we did a lot of these for my son's wedding shower, and these are really cool. These are also super popular, and all you do is you take a dye sub print, you basically put it on this, you use this, I think we were using like 400 for 70 seconds, and then when you remove the paper, this is what you end up with, a really nice puzzle just that looks like this, that you break it up and then you can use it for whatever type of game or any kind of keepsake you like. So once you hit the temperature, all you do is push this button and then the countdown will take place, as you can see there. And then when you're done, it's pretty much done, and you would raise it as I indicated. So the press has a lot of features, not just, again, for pressing shirts, but you can also do puzzles. There's a lot of other material. You can do aluminum as well. There's a lot of flexibility that you get with this press. So now we have the canvas. I have butcher paper inside of the bag. I have my print, high quality inverted image. We have heat resistant tape on each side. We have one more sheet of butcher paper here. And what we're going to do is we're going to place everything in place and press. Now, the amount of time that we're going to put in, 400 temperature, 25 seconds. Let's go ahead and lower it. And we'll hit it. 25 seconds are up. I'm going to move this over to the side. And I'm going to just make sure things look good, right? Last time I moved it too soon. So a couple things that you'll notice is that you can see the print right here. I think I'm going to run it one more time. I can see that right here, this is printed, but this seems to be too high up. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this and just make sure that it took. So I'm going to do this thing for whatever reason. Flip this around. Do it one more time. Bring it down. Do another 25 seconds just to be on the safe side. Just notice that if you don't have full color, where it looks like it's kind of like bled in, the image changes the print intensity. Okay, that was 25 seconds. Move it over, move the sheet. Okay, now you can see the difference now. So now if you look at this, notice how this looks like it's pressed in. You can see how the color now is consistent, and we're seeing some consistency over here. So what I'm going to do is just put it right here, and I'm going to start peeling it to see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that looks good. Yeah, that looks really good. Let's go ahead and lift it. And now, that's what it looks like. Isn't that awesome looking? Absolutely awesome looking. Today I choose faith, hope, love, and joy. Nice canvas bag. And one of the cool features about the M1Ultra is the ability to use this feature, which is the multi-module processing. So for the most part, you have a laser, rotary, blade, foil transfer, pen drawing, inkjet, and all these other choices. Notice how you have this one right here. Well, what this one's going to do is it's going to allow you to use 2 or more of the heads, and it will prompt you to walk you through the process. Now, I, for example, have the ink module connected, and then I also have the cutting blade connected. So what I'm going to do is have something printed. Right, so we have something right here, and I'm going to make sure that this right here is actually printed, and you notice how I make this choice, and I have this one right here, and I make it printed, and I'm going to change the intensity to 100% because I want it really vivid in color, 100%. And so now I have that piece. But now what I'm going to do is I actually have some sticker paper. I'm going to have the paper cut out. So I want this right here cut out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose outline. And when I choose outline, I'm going to choose how many pixels I want the outline to be. And I just want the outline to be 1 pixel, right? Or in this case, millimeters actually. So 1 millimeter. I'm going to choose confirm, and it's going to draw a line around this cat. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to choose the type of cutting that I want it to do. But this is going to be with the fine point blade. And then I'm going to use the heat transfer module, or the heat transfer pressure setting that I've set up. So you notice 200 cut pressure, speed of 20, pass of 1. So now if I zoom in here, you notice how I have this around this cat. I already did one right here for the ghost because Halloween is around the corner, believe it or not. And I'm going to do the same thing here. So I have my print intensity is high. I'm going to choose an outline so you can see how this works. I'm going to change my intensity to 1, or offset to 1. Hit OK. Now I have a cutout there. And or I could actually change it to 0. Let's see what that would look like so that we have maybe no white area. So we're going to do again outline. We're going to change this to 0. Hit confirm, and then I'm going to basically choose the actual cutting blade, right? Change that setting to, again, and do cut. Actually, it's not the cutting, okay, it's a fine point blade. And then I'm going to choose my heat transfer setting for this right here. So this one should be trimmed exactly on it. I could have probably done the same thing with this cat too. That would have been pretty cool. All right, so now that we've done this, I've already defined my area, and I'm going to actually I've already cut out right here a sticker of this guy right here. So I'm going to go ahead and make another one. I'm going to put it right here, right? So now I have these 3 stickers that I'm going to generate. I'm going to not frame because I've already done that. I'm going to go to process, and you'll notice here that it has the fine cut blade, and then it also has the ink module. And you're going to see the images are going to show up here and the process that it's going to go through. It says that it's going to take around 2 minutes and 14 seconds. That's not bad. Let's take a look at the M1Ultra now. Now you're going to see right here that I've already cut out 1 sticker, right? And I pull that out, and I use some tweezers to just pull that out. And you don't have to do that. You could actually run an entire sheet and then do it that way. And I think that's probably the best way to do it. I did remove the ink module already. And this is something that I think I'm going to put like a little note or a little sticker right here that says, don't forget to remove this thing right here, because I have forgotten. It drives me crazy. Probably make one. And now all I'm going to do now is just run this. I'm going to close this up. I'm going to go ahead and send it. All right, so we're going to run this again. We verified the color settings. We didn't get a really good version of the ghost with the coffee, so we're running it one more time. Made sure that the intensity is 100%. And also what I'm doing is I am going to do the cat again, but I'm going to extend the actual cutting area for the cat so it's not so close to the hair. I think having that 2mm space is better. And you can see how nice that one is coming out right there. That is really nice. Let's go ahead and zoom in. You can see what that looks like right there. That is nice and crispy. Beautiful. So now we're going to go ahead and get our cat, and we'll have that cat cut out as well. And again, I have 100% intensity. I'm using my vinyl cut settings for the sticker paper. And that guy's coming out beautiful now. I don't know what was up with that one. So same intensity on there, but you can see that there's a big difference between these images and the one you saw above. This is very vibrant now. Once again, it could be my cartridge is low on ink. Oh, I love it. That looks great. Okay. All right, I'm going to go pick up the ink. It's going to put it back. It's going to take the cutting blade. There it goes. Now it's going to cut everything off for us. And you'll notice that it's not going in between the hairs like it was doing earlier. It's just cutting it out. I think this is really cool. You can imagine something like this for your kids that are going to school. You can do something like this for a teacher, some stickers. If you are a teacher, this is a great way to recognize students. Check it out. All right, now I'm going to get the other one done. All right, that looks great. Let's go ahead and open this up. All right, we'll go ahead and zoom in so you can see that. You can see the nice cutouts that you have right there for each one of these. Much better than this one and much more vibrant than this one. Really like the way that looks right there. So what you can do is you can either wheedle it off, or if you remove the sticker paper, you can just peel the stickers off. All right, guys, so our stickers are done. Let's take a look at what they look like, and you can see that these came out beautiful. That second run really did a trick, and colors are vibrant, and these were cut out, so I can actually give this to some kids, and they can stick it on their lunchbox, whatever they'd like to stick it on. Nice. Now, cutting vinyl on the M1 Ultra is really, really easy. And keep in mind that I'm a laser guy, not a vinyl guy. So a couple things we have to do. First thing we have to do is get the image that we want to cut. And you see this right here. I'll select it. I've chosen that we're using the fine point blade. These are the settings that I've found because you can do a material test, just like you do material tests with laser engraving and also other materials. You can actually do a material test for cutting. So I wanted to get the best, fastest speed for cutting vinyl. And this is xTool vinyl. And this is what I came up with. 300 pressure, 200 speed, 1 pass. So what we're going to do is, and I've already framed it, everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and go to process. You'll notice as it comes up, it says it's going to take about 2 minutes and 14 seconds. Here's everything here listed. I'm going to, before I hit start, we're going to go over to the actual M1 Ultra. You have to have the cover closed in order to be able to start the engraving process. Even though there's not engraving, it's the cutting process. Let's go and check it out. Now, there's a couple things going on here. So the actual cutting blade is over here. And what will happen is it will touch this pad. And it feels like it's what it's doing, just making sure that the blade is aligned. Then it's going to come over here, and this is the vinyl. I have it faced up. And I'm not an expert when it comes to vinyl. This is like the first vinyl machine I'm working in. And this, so far, has been a learning experience, to say the least. So I put this down face up. And what I did was I reversed the image, but I also then laid the actual transfer paper underneath it. So I have transfer paper on top of this sticky surface, and then I have the vinyl on top of it just to make it easy. This is how I'm doing it. I don't know any other way to do it. So we're going to try it this way. I'm going to go ahead and close it. I'm going to go ahead and hit start. We're going to hit start on the M1 Ultra. We'll see the head come down, touch. All right. Now it's going to start cutting. And it should be relatively fast. It should be relatively deep. The next thing that we'll do is once this is done cutting, we'll peel off the actual top vinyl, just the waste. And I try to keep it on this mat because it's just easier to manage. And then we'll go to the heat press. All right, guys, so after you pull off the vinyl, this part right here, throw that to the side, this is what you're left with, obviously after you've done what they call wheedling. Wheedle. So now we have this. Next step is to go to the press. All right, so we have the transfer paper. We have it aligned. Again, I don't have any special tools, so many fingers. We think this looks good. And I am now just going to press it. I'm going to put some butcher paper on top of this. So this is something that we saw a lot of folks doing. I'm just going to put this on top when we press it. And the settings we're going to do are 295 for 40 seconds. See that right there. And let's go ahead and put it under the press. All right, so we're going to go ahead and lower the press. Hit the button. And I'm going to watch the timer count down. We're watching this. All right, let's see how it turned out. This is hot, guys. Hot. Go ahead and bring it back, put it here. All right, so the time is up. We're gonna go ahead and check and see. This is hot, guys. Super duper hot. We're gonna try to peel it away.
Wait till it cools.
I'm impatient. And it is sticking. Check that out. It is sticking. Ooh, me likey. Just on this side. Yeah, it's sticking. I thought it didn't, but it is. Nice. Yeah. All right, it looks like there's like a little piece of plastic on top of it. Yeah, that's interesting. Right. That looks good. All right, so it worked. Yeah, I'm laughing. All All right, guys, so that's the end product. Not bad for a laser guy and gal. Yeah, because we're both laser people, but we're not. This is,
This is new territory for us.
this is new, but we think it's pretty cool. Now, there's another cool function with the press that I just wanted to show you, and we borrowed a printer from a friend that has a die sub printer. And this was something that we just think that these come out really, really cool. So we're going to go ahead and start peeling this off so that you can see it, what's going on. And then we're going to lift this, and you're going to see that this is a puzzle piece. And this was also done with the heat press, and you can see how that looks like right there. We did several of these for a party. People absolutely love them. See what that looks like? Fantastic. Amazing. Super cool. So guys, that wraps up our review. As always, be beautiful. See you in the next video.